goes, but I always like to remind people that Article 5, Section 34 of our Constitution says that anything that the state gives money to, over that it assumes absolute control. And so if you're going to consider taking money, if you're going to consider doing that deal with the devil, you need to make sure that you have contemplated over what part of your soul you would like the devil to have absolute control, because that is the nature of government lending and government spending. So this has state-run lending programs. I'm not really sure where the state has the authority to enter into lending programs based on some other targeted things. We have free markets, government-directed lending programs. We have markets out there. We have equitable. We have lending. It doesn't even have to be equitable. Somebody can lend money based on their own personal preferences. They can lend money based on whatever they want to lend money on, unless the government has stepped in and said they can't. So we don't need the government to step in when there are market solutions that are not going to basically bind the individual to fealty to the state. Fiscal responsibility. We're talking about moving $5 million between funds. Now, granted, when we have a $50 billion budget, $5 million doesn't even show up in the fraction, but at some point, these things add up to money. They add up to real money. And the citizens of Colorado deserve that their money at all levels, even in the decimal place, even in the subdecimal place, is accounted for properly, because those subdecimals add up and then they eventually become real money. Because these are ultimately, when you look at these risks, when you put loans in and take them down from 4-to-1 participation to 1-to-1, you are risking the amount of money that is going into this, and you are risking the amount and the likelihood of default. If you only have to put down 50%, as opposed to 80%, the likelihood of default is a lot higher. And identity-based targets. The government is giving money. The government assumes absolute control. The Constitution precludes unequal treatment. So if the Constitution precludes unequal treatment in politicized lending criteria, even if the loan itself is not constitutional, the process at least should be constitutional. And now you are having an identity-based loan. We're not loaning money. This program is based on the color of the skin, not on the content of the character. That seems to be a violation of February in general, let alone specifically our Colorado Constitution. Personal responsibility, it takes a hit in this when expanded hardship deferrals may weaken repayment discipline. Now we've not only reduced the risk to the individual who wants the loan, they get the benefit, but they don't have the risk. But now we've said, okay, we're just going to expand the reasons that you don't have to pay it at all. And who's going to pay the brunt of that? Oh, it's going to be the government. It's going to be the state. But that money, again, based on the charitable good intentions of the sponsors, that money is coming out of the pockets of the citizens of Colorado. And I'd like to remind everybody that there is no such thing as charitable taking. There's charitable giving. The Lord loves a cheerful giver, but there is nothing about charitable taking. And when you reach into one citizen's pocket and you legislate money out of that pocket into another pocket because you prefer that person over another, that is theft. Now, I don't know what the motivation for that theft is, and I won't speak to the motivation for that theft, but legislating money from one citizen's pocket to another is theft.